Leah Bruce.
Emily Johnson.
So this is now the evaluation on both nights.
Yeah.
Both nights. So yeah, the first night, I think the first night wasn't the best.
No, I feel like the not dress rehearsal. We had a rehearsal the night before, so we were at college from 9 till 9.
That went better.
And that was really good. So everyone was like, yeah, tomorrow night's performance night, it's going to go really well. And then I felt everyone was just so tired from the night before that we were like, oh.
Yeah, the first night didn't go the best. It wasn't even like, it wasn't extremely bad. It was just the energy was gone. Like, there was nothing like...
I feel like the audience didn't help as well.
Yeah, the audience didn't...
They weren't responsive.
They weren't laughing. They weren't... It was just nothing. I was like, oh, like, even mine and Tana's scene, normally it gets bigged up so much.
Yeah.
And, like, Leanne goes on, like, we're so funny and it's hilarious.
Yeah.
I don't even think anyone in the audience cracked a laugh or cracked a smile. Like, it was literally like me and him were sitting there like, wine? Like, this is just awkward. Like, no one's laughing at all.
Yeah, I feel like that possibly could have been though, because a lot of the members of the audience were like Ria's family and the Main's family, so they were like, oh, that's not my child, I'm not gonna laugh. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But then, obviously, like, yeah, I was gonna go for the second night, but we'll talk about that later. So from the beginning, how do you what did you feel?
Well, I was nervous for the opening sequence because considering they changed it last minute with the river.
Yeah.
But it actually went okay, but I had to keep an eye on Harmony because of the boat, you know, when the boat comes off and she needs to pull it off all on her own and she's like dragging it off.
So loud.
And like hitting the audience chairs as she comes round the corner. And because they told us that we could be seen, we were like acting like squirrels, like grabbing the water and the boat and like moving it. So we all had to help with that because they got stuck on a chair. But...
Yeah. I just think that whole first performance, it was like 50%, which was so weird. Like, because like you said, like the night before the rehearsal, the dress rehearsal, it was just so good, and like I wish that was what we performed. But everything, like even like to the wild wood or whatever it is, it was just like I was like, oh, it's just awkward. Like there was nothing. There was just no energy or atmosphere, and it was just really weird. And all of like you couldn't hear Rat at all. You just couldn't hear her. And I don't know if that's because of the voice she's trying to put on. Like, she says that it's because she's trying to be a man, trying to put on a male voice, but I don't think her voice is going deeper.
No, it's just projection.
She's like, Molly, no, listen to me. Like, you can be like, Molly, now, listen to... Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, you don't have to,
more
like...
animated.
You don't have to be, like, an actual real old man. You're on stage, you're like...
Yeah.
So I get what she's saying, like, because she's being a man and she has to really overpronounce everything, it's making her quiet, but...
Fight it.
I don't think she's acting like a man, per se. I think she's just acting, like, ratty.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think there's really a gender. I wouldn't even...
Yeah. I don't think she's, like... She's not lowering her voice to sound like a guy, and she shouldn't be doing that anyway. Even if, like, because that's not what they want. They want you
it to be female.
They want you to gender neutralise it all.
Yeah.
So, I don't really get that point. But like, I get what she says. Like everyone was okay.
There was no like, oh my god, that's gone so bad. There wasn't any of those moments, but I don't think they needed them. It was just...
a bit boring.
The atmosphere was just no. And if you felt like you tried too hard, you were like, oh,
you're
no,
overacting.
Oh shit. No, I've paid too much attention to myself. Oh, God.
Yeah, like you're overacting or you're not acting enough. Whereas that we needed that in-between moment where it was real.
Yeah.
And still energised and everything. Like Rim and Zoe's part. Like, Gavin loves it. Because he says it brings all the energy, but I'm like, it's so OTT.
It's just not really needed. It's just a bit extra. You
but
just walk on like, oh, hello.
Like, I just think like there's a difference between naturally acting in an energised way than like overacting, trying to be loud and bringing everything like this, and it's just like I don't know. I don't believe it.
There are other ways of bringing it.
And I think Gavin should have, because Gavin's a teacher. He's more wise than me when it comes to acting.
Yeah.
He sees this, and he shouldn't be pretending.
Like telling them to push it more.
Push it more? Like, what more do you want them to do?
Literally, he said you need to push it more, like your two grannies are on a bench, like, bitching about
like,
someone.
they're already going, like, crazy. Like, with, like...
And they need to remember they're animals.
Yeah. Yeah.
And their physicality was not there. They just walked on like a human being.
Yeah, in the end, like, I feel like Zoe was doing too much of the rabbit thing. Like, she's like constantly.
Oh, that.
And I was like, oh, like, say when I'm the rabbit, I was just
rabbit
doing
with
like,
nits.
yeah. Well, I was doing a little itch on the ear, but like in
An occasional, not
just like constantly, and like I do like little like nose things, like, and to be fair, Rat did what's the word? She made me. She done that a lot.
She was the best. Animalistic wise, like you could tell that she had
Yeah.
taken that on.
And from seeing her perform like that, during like the last like few dress rehearsals and like the actual shows, I was doing a lot more like kind of like nose
Yeah.
twitches and stuff, and so was Oriane. And
I
like,
feel like Sophia could have done more though, because a mole has got that amazing sense of smell,
yeah,
and I feel like it was just like the only thing that you could tell that she was a mole was her torch.
yeah, and she kept doing like glasses things, which was nice, but yeah, she could have done more. I think
Toad,
Toad 100% could have.
Yeah.
But to be fair, what does a
Like,
toad do?
ribbit.
Like, and Badger, she was just like an old man. I don't think there was like any animalistic quality about her.
But I didn't even think she was an old man. It was just the way that she was dressed that you could tell that she was an old man, and the glasses
Yeah.
that she wore. Other than that, I don't think you would have been able to tell.
I think Ratty and Albert, they were the
He
best.
was really good with his legs and his like.
Yeah, they were the best with like the animalistic quality, because you still remember that they were the animal, not human.
I've always with the others, it was kind of faded in and out. Like, oh, wait, are you a mole?
Are you a mole or are you a little boy? Like,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you meant to be a little boy mole.
Northern boy? Yeah.
Mole. But yeah, that was that. Then obviously, what did you think of your washwoman scene in the first?
I felt like it got better, but again, didn't have much to feed off. So I felt like it was a bit meh. I didn't feel like, oh wow, I'm really proud of my performance. What I wanted to feel like, this is like our second to last time we're ever going to perform this, and I wanted to be ensure that I was like proud and be like, all my research, everything has been worth it. It's been good. But then I didn't feel like that after this performance, so I was kind of counting on the next one, determined to make the next
Yeah.
one work.
Yeah, like even with mine and Tanner's scenes, it was just so like, it felt forced too, and he wasn't helping me this time. Like, he was like, I'd give him something and it was like he'd block it. He wouldn't.
Yeah, he wouldn't be like, oh yeah, sure. You
Like-
know what I mean?
Like, say, like, when we get out the car, we know that, like, the first line I always say that starts off the improvisation is, oh my god, you're so funny. And he was just like, mm-hmm. And I was like, mm-hmm.
Great.
I was like, great, okay. I was like, drinks? Like, anything? Like, I don't know, like, I felt like I was trying to, like keep
Energise
this
the scene.
conversation going, because, like, he wasn't. And I was like, what are you doing? Literally, in my head, I was like, Tana, what are you doing? But obviously, I'm trying to stay as Monica. So I'm just like, oh, you're being very quiet today. But, I mean,
No.
I don't know. Second night was better, though, so it's fine. Same with, like, the train scene and stuff. He was just kind of sitting there, like... And I was like...
I feel like he was trying to conserve his energy, but I don't know what for.
I was like, it's the show.
Tonight, audience.
Like, act.
Yeah, I know.
And literally, when we got off stage, I'd say to him, still as kind of Monica, I was like, what are you doing? Like, you need to help yourself right now.
I need
And then I think Where's Toad went well that night.
I feel like that was like, oh yeah, remember.
Yeah, I think
it's
he
doing well.
realised, actually, yeah, I'm still Rupert. Like, yeah.
No,
I'm going to
really?
shoot this squirrel. And it just kind of made, like, yeah, that Where's Toad moment was good on the first night.
Mine and Thomas's scene was alright the first night.
He dropped down on his knees very hard.
I know, he's done that in rehearsals, and I've been like, I don't think you should do that.
Yeah.
It just doesn't look right.
I watched him and I was like, oh my god, that must have hurt. Like, he just went crash down on his kneecaps. And I was like, Jesus.
Yeah.
You got to learn the safe way to do
Put a
that.
pillow.
Or just like you land more on your shin rather than like your knee.
I didn't even think it was needed though. I feel like it was just for him to be like doing something other than standing. He's
Yeah.
like, I need to show levels.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
maybe that shows that he's less powerful than you.
For like a second, and then he gets back.
Yeah. Yeah. And then like the finale as well, like the fight scene. How do you think the fight scene went the first night?
Really badly. Like I said, Harmony turned up for the first time in like 2 weeks that we'd done the fight scene, and she decided that she was going to hit me instead of hit Connie, who she was meant to hit, which meant everything else was put out of sequence because we had an order to it. So in the end, she literally fell. She tripped on her own weapon.
Who? Harmony?
So I was like, okay, I'm making this work. It's funny. So I was like, stepped back, like purposely to make sure that I tripped as well, because we're meant to be lying on the floor at this point. But I didn't want it to be like so dramatic that I was like, boom. So I was like taking it slowly. I didn't realise that she was literally right behind me, so I was like taking a couple steps and literally I fell. And then Connie does a forward roll off Rhea's back, and then she's meant to roll into us so that we're in a line. So when Rhea jumps like all of her weight onto us, that we roll. But that didn't happen. Connie didn't end up near us, and she's like bum shuffling towards us to get in the line like this. And it just looked like, I was like, this works, it's fine. And we, I don't even know. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we already spoke about the magistrates.
Oh, the court scene.
Yeah.
Ever.
Was that yeah, at all? Was that the night? Wait, when was it that I had to save Connie?
It was that.
Was that the show?
The night before?
Or was it the rehearsal?
I think it might have been just the one before this show. You know, the night before.
I don't know what it was, but there was the first night she didn't know her lines, like at all.
She had to have the clipboard, didn't she?
Well, the clipboard is mine. That's my prop. It gets me in my character.
That's my
research. That is my Declan Donnellan emotion,
object.
Memory, module, whatever.
Object,
yeah, like that is my thing. She's like, Leah, I don't know my lines, so I'm gonna clip them onto here, and then I'm gonna read them. So I'm gonna have the clipboard. I'm like, no, you're not. Like that's mine. Like I need that. That's my thing. That's what I do when I'm not saying anything. That I'm writing down everything, and it's just for me, for my character, it helps me stay connected. But she wanted to have it for a bit, and then I took it back. I don't remember actually if the first night she did definitely have that.
I don't know.
I don't know if the first night she forgot her line and I had to save her.
They only filmed the second night, so.
I think the first night she forgot one of the monologue parts and I had to save her, and she asked.
Oh yes, it was. It was when you were charging him the first time. She was like, "Wait, the 12 months."
She just asked me like, what happens now if I like, and I was like, I think he goes free, like, cause.
And she's like, oh yes, goes free.
Yeah, because she can go to his house and stuff, but like, she didn't learn her lines at all. Like, even on the second night, that was when she had my clipboard.
Yeah.
And again, that whole situation, you gave the magistrate to Connie, who, you know, I love her and she's good, but she doesn't learn lines. She doesn't come in and she doesn't do coursework. So why the hell did you give
a part that's crucial?
A crucial part that has to learn monologues to her. Like,
she wasn't even there the night before the show, I'm pretty sure, because she was at work and she didn't ask to have the time off. So we had to have people fill in for her on 2 occasions.
Like, I'm not even trying to, like, sound like we're better than whatever, but, like, one of us would have done great as the magistrate.
Yeah.
So, yeah. we would have been great as the magistrate, I think, one of us. Because we're just that kind of...
Got the projection as well, because I can hear she was a bit mumbly.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't know. But then maybe if I was the magistrate, it would be way too similar to Daphne. Decades? No, to Monica.
Yeah.
Because they're very similar characters. Or maybe that's just the way she...
Yeah, see, I've never been put as a posh role. I've always wanted to. In like, when, for example, when we were doing Decades, when we were auditioning for that, I was like, I want to be a posh role. You know, one of Daphne or the one Renee was, I don't know, one of them. But then didn't get that, but I don't know.
Yeah, I
just get all the poor people, or all the men.
I'd get all
the people
posh,
with accents.
I literally just get all the posh women.
So
yeah. Second night.
That was a lot.
So much better.
That's the best that we've ever done the show.
Yeah, and I think every single scene was just it had so much energy, like.
But again, I think that was helped because we had like a group discussion. We all like warming up and together.
And we knew it was the last show. Like, I feel like the second show is always better.
Yeah.
Always. Like, the final time with your, like, ensemble, you're gonna make it the best you can. So I think the first night, everyone kind of took as another rehearsal, which they shouldn't have because people were watching.
But
I
didn't. But we didn't. But...
Well, yeah, we didn't. But, I mean, I think everybody else did. And obviously it's hard to try and keep up the energy on your own.
Yeah.
If no one else is doing
Especially
it.
as an ensemble piece. It's not
Yeah.
like...
And I'm not a main role, so
Yeah.
I can't keep up the energy for, like, Rat. When
yeah,
I'm like
not on stage.
When I'm off stage, like, woohoo!
Go Rat.
But yeah, so like it just went so much better. Like, I think all of the rabbit scenes and squirrels and
Everyone became a lot more animalistic, which is really weird.
Yeah, I'm there
like, what was happening?
I know, I was really proud of everyone, I think. You could hear Rat a lot more clearly.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
you could, but like obviously you still couldn't. It wasn't still as loud as anything, but it was a lot better than the night before. One thing I didn't like with Mole is that she, you know when she has to pull the doorbell and stuff, and she cuts her ankle.
That looked really fake.
She calls it the invisible door scraper.
No, yeah, in rehearsal she just said that because they never got one. They were meant to be getting a.
Yeah, but you don't. If you are acting and you are Mole and you cut yourself on a door scraper, you believe that the door scraper is there to the point where you make the audience believe that there is a door scraper there too. You don't.
It's kind of like Tanner when he says ensemble weasel.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I found it funny at rehearsals. I was like, yeah, that's really funny. You're really funny. But then when it got to the show, I was like,
yeah.
what?
But the whole invisible door scraper, like, you're meant to believe, like if you don't believe it, you're bringing reality back now.
That kind of. Oh yeah, I almost died at that moment as well with the Mole. Because in the scene before, we've just tried to kill Mole. Rat turns up and buggers the plans. I grab a rope and run up 4 flights of stairs, sprinting, to get there for the next scene at this door scraper part where the door appears to Badger's house. And I have to throw the rope down from the rig, which is really scary as it is. Throw it over. I'm hanging on to the last piece of rope because it's not long enough. It's only just about long enough for her to pull. I had to make it appear at the right time so it was funny. So she's like, oh, what doorbell? There isn't a doorbell. And then she's like, oh, you saved us. And then it comes. And then she's like, where did that come from? So that's funny. But then I pull it up and then I had to throw it down again. And at that point, she was pulling it so hard that she tripped. She was laying down on the floor, pulling the bell. I'm on the last piece of rope, like, no! Like, I legit was, like, contemplating letting go.
I would have let go.
Or, like, leaning over a bit more. So I leaned over a bit more. Thankfully, after the 3rd time of pulling the bell, which wasn't really necessary, I grabbed it back up and I survived. But I, like, honestly was frightened for my life at that point.
Yeah, that could
After, like, dying of heat up there because of that lights.
Yeah.
Just running up 4 flights of stairs, like,
yeah,
this piece of rope.
That could have ended really badly.
I don't know why they didn't choose someone else. Because I said to them, I was like, look, I've just finished that scene. I need to get changed for my next scene. Back to a squirrel. I can't really do it. And they were like, no, Emily, we trust you. And so basically either me, it couldn't be anyone that was holding the door.
Yeah, thank God.
It could have been me or any of the other Wild Wooders, but they decided that I would be able to do it. I mean, I did it, but that's not the point.
Yeah, but then to be fair, like, people that you could trust, like, they were all busy, like, and say, like, Adam.
What, Tom? Jamie?
Tanner was needed. Tom was... Oh, yes, to be fair, Tom or Jamie could have done it.
Tom or Jamie, the maid...
Yeah, why did they do it? Cause
she legit looked at me and was like, Emily? And I thought... But
yeah, I didn't like the whole invisible door scraper thing. I just thought it kind of brought reality back to the audience when you don't want that. You don't want the reality.
I think the way she tripped as well, I get it, it's hard to, like, fake
Yeah.
trip, but after watching the footage that they uploaded, I was like, that did not look believable at all. He was like, oh shit, oh, I need to fall now.
Yeah, I just... Literally, because I think with a play like this, you need the audience to be so, like, mesmerised
It's an animal world.
In this world, that it doesn't matter what you're saying. It's real. It's there. You don't, even with Ensemble Weasel.
Admit that you're an Ensemble Weasel.
Don't bring real life to this.
Like, okay, you're part of the ensemble.
It's basically breaking character, really.
Yeah,
Saying, oh, an invisible door scraper, what of it? You're not Mal then, are you? You're Sophia.
Looking back and going, actually, there isn't a door scraper there.
Yeah, like you just pretend. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
I get it. People laughed. It was funny because she'd never really done it before. But
I mean, I didn't like when she first done it. I was like, "What you doing, girl?"
But yeah, I mean, for the audience, it was all right. But as like us, we know when you're breaking.
And I feel like, say if we have like a drama teacher called Sarah, who's like,
oh yeah,
outside of this, and I know if she saw that, she'd be like, "What?" She'd be like,
"That's
what
not
is
acting,
she doing?"
though. It's not.
She would like, honestly, because I feel like when you're outside of like this bubble that is like,
if you're not in it, you're
this bubble of like performing an Escort, Forge Theatre, everyone knows each other. So when there are other students in the audience and they hear Tanner say, "Oh, I'm just an ensemble weasel," everyone's like, "Oh my god, haha."
That's so funny. But in the real
we're
world,
ensembles too, haha. And then in the real world, an agent
will be like, no, can't take themselves serious.
Weasel. Like they don't understand their character. What are they doing? Like you just say, "I'm a weasel with a conscience" or something. I don't know. That's just my personal opinion. I think things should be
kept on. Like I get it. Like I say, like the rehearsals, that's fine because it's all a joke at that point. But when it's an actual grade that's being marked, it's like, what did you gain from doing that?
Apart from trying to get people to laugh at you, but
again, trying too hard, not acting.
Yeah. What's next?
Did you say about court scene?
Court scene went a lot better.
I feel like we were a lot more rowdier this time, like because I feel like the court scene is like a pinnacle point in the play where everyone is together, like the Wildwooders and the Riverbank Animals, and we're like fighting for Toad to go to prison,
and then there's me and Connie on stage, like,
oh yes, Kedri, and all of that. But I feel like that time again was the best time we'd ever done that because we were alive, and the way that we were looking at like Mole, like I feel like the Wildwooders were looking at Mole like we were gonna eat him.
Yeah, and but because I was so energized, I got off of that. I just jumped. I don't know what I jumped off of the rostra.
Oh, to get down.
Just like, yeah. Doing that, my wig fell off. So I was like, okay, I can't just sneakily pick it up now. So clerk, you're gonna have to talk now. And I was like, I can't believe I just dropped my wig. But like as like the clerk, so it's kind of, and then Connie was like, oh silly, and it was just like,
okay, it's fine.
We kind of saved it, and then I was like, oh, it's really embarrassing. I'm gonna quickly run around.
That was like me in the fight scene, but but Connie dropping her.
That was on purpose, though.
Yeah, in the rehearsal, first time she did it accidentally, and then I was like, I wasn't really need.
Yeah.
It was just she had just to do it so that Rim could run and pick it up and be like, there you go.
I didn't like that.
I just was like,
it's not needed.
I was like, you just leave it, because in the real world, the court she would be separate because she's meant to be. But again,
I didn't really like that whole dropping of the.
What's it called?
Baton?
Well,
you know what I mean.
Giblet? No.
No, I don't know. But such a hard thing is right before the magistrate scene is my scene with Tanner. So I've had to do an outfit change to be Motorist Monica, get out of like my rabbit situation, get on all of that. After that scene, we go off. I have to literally, there's like a minute, not even a minute, like 40 seconds, having to get my wig on, take off my whole like situation, put on my scarf, oh my god,
that's like same for me with the squirrel bit, because it's the bit with the newspaper, isn't it?
Yeah,
see, at that point I've just like Toad's just crashing like near me, so I'm like running from one side of the stage to the other, take my squirrel ears off, put my weasel coat on, put my weasel hat on.
Luckily though, I kind of got used to it in the end, but except the robe was so hard to get on because it's literally just so massive. I like can't find the sleeves ever. So everyone's like on with their newspapers. I'm like, oh my god. Tanner's over there like getting on all of his stuff, so he can't help me. So I'm there like trying to find like holes to put my arms in. I'm stressing out. Then people forget, yeah. To be fair, it was meant to be me and then Toad that comes on.
Oh god, but
I'm there getting ready. Everyone starts going on, and I'm like, I'm the clerk. Wait for me. Literally, Leanne even said to you, she has to do a big change. If she's not ready in time, you just wait. No, they didn't wait. So then I have to come on, and I'm like, excuse me. I'm like, don't get in my way.
Well, at least that Toad and Zoe come on, at least.
Yeah.
Then if they wanted to fill up time, like I get it. If like taking whatever time, then they could just bring Zoe and Toad on, like, and Toad can make something of that.
Yeah,
rather
but
than...
all of
I don't even know who started it because I'm like
it was
getting my
always
hat on.
Tom. It was always they'd always
Oh,
go on,
'cause-
and in the end I barged through. And I was like, "Excuse me, thank you. I am the clerk. Move out my way." It's like the cheek of it, the stupid animals. Yeah. My scene with Tanner went so much better. It was so literally like we got laughs, which was great because the day before we didn't. Like, oh, it was so funny, and like we just like made new jokes up. Like even just coming on, he just randomly said like, because to be fair. But backstage, I did sneakily ask. He was like, "I've got something to say," and I was like, "Oh, what is it?" He's like, "Oh, don't worry, you have to wait until we're on stage." And I was like, "Oh, like what are you saying?"
Yeah.
And then we go on, and he's like, "Have you patched the wine, darling?" And I was like, "Darling, I never forget the wine." And like, it was just literally we've never done that before. It's never been like practiced, but we got so many laughs just because of the whole wine joke. And like, then literally like before this show, Leanne told us like, if Toad can't get in the car on time, ad-lib everything, make it seem like make them look at you and not her trying to get in the car.
Just trying to pick up the wheel.
So obviously we say our lines, we sit down, we're getting ready, we have our bottles of wine, and then we realise actually no, she's struggling getting in the car. So he just starts saying like, "Ugh, what are these cups? These aren't champagne glass." And I was like, "Look, we drink out of the bottle here, okay? Yeah, stop trying to be up yourself." As I'm literally speaking, like, please, don't be up yourself. Like, I just thought it was just so funny, and we got so many laughs, and I was just really proud of us for that, and it just flowed.
You were getting the response that you needed to be able to.
We got that right response, and then and then obviously when he went off with our car, I was like, "Rupert, it's taken our car," and he's like, "Run, Monica, run." I'm like, I don't run for anyone. It was funny, and it's because I feel like we can see ourselves in that character. Obviously not like very very extreme, but like me and him do have that kind of like banter anyway. Do you know what I mean? Like obviously very different, but I feel like when you find like parts of yourself in a character, it
makes it a lot easier.
It's funnier too, because it's like stuff you'd never say, but to be fair, you kind of want to. Like, I'd probably want to be like, "I've always got the alcohol." Like,
yeah.
But you just make it like a different person.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought I really enjoyed that, and I think you can tell. Like, even me talking about it now, like,
she's getting so excited.
I'm like, ah.
What else is in the first half?
Then the mice.
Oh god.
The mice.
That's the scene that I don't think ever has gone really, really well.
I mean, it didn't go bad.
No, it didn't go bad, but again, it's just really awkward when we're on stage miming to In the Bleak Midwinter and Jamie's over the top shouting,
"Okay, anybody know?
We've got 15 minutes, please vacate the room so that they can get ready." And there's us in the middle of the stage like...
It's like, what is going on?
And there's me like hoping that the audience is going to leave because I need to get changed into my washerwoman outfit and like have a full-on like everything.
What I just don't like in that scene is Emily and Oriane.
They're really annoying and upstaging everyone.
They just try to upstage, and the thing is, everyone can tell.
The thing is, both of them do it in all the scenes. Like Emily does it in the Weasel scene. She's like, "Oh, I'm going to be the stupid one."
Yeah.
Like carrying the chairs and whatever head.
Yeah.
Like that was funny, but it's like again trying to upstage the whole situation that's actually happening. Like.
Yeah, and like their whole singing and then start screaming and stuff and like bowing weirdly, like I get it, but I'm just like.
There's a line you've crossed that.
It's just a bit far, and
reminds me a bit of pantomime.
Yeah, like it's like just too extreme. Like I feel like when I was my mouse, when they started singing all weird and off key and stuff, me as my mouse, I was like, "Oh no!"
I was like looking at them like, "Oh."
Like I done like little things, like so people know. Yeah, she's a bit of a uptight mouse, you know, that likes everything to be perfect. But I'm not like,
require.
Oh I'm not like making it too massive where I'm like, "Oh, I can't deal with anything." Like,
yeah.
If I was gonna act like them on their level, then I would be going all crazy. But you just keep it down.
I think it shows kind of like we've been here for 2 years and like all of that about being naturalistic, and I feel like it's like going back 2 years and like none of this ever happened. Going back to being pantomime and fake.
You need to learn how to control, like...
You might have that urge to do that, but doesn't mean you do it.
Well, you have to just control your acting, your body. Like, same with dance, like everything. There's control. You need control with your voice, with your acting, with everything. You can't just go, like, yes, big is great. You have to be big. But big in a way where it still is real. And I guess it's something that everyone has to learn how to do.
I think also, though, is like, if she had researched, if she had written... answered questions and done things about dramatic mice, you know, whatever her story is. If that's her story, that's her story. But it didn't feel like that.
Or like Commedia dell'arte, or whatever.
It was
clowning. Yeah, like if you're looking into that and like
then make it
like I know Tanner. He
looked at Philippe Gaulier
and he's looked in like to the Commedia dell'arte and like. I see him adding that in, like, when he goes on for a sausage roll.
Yeah.
I literally see him as, like, Mr. Bean.
Yeah.
And that's because, like, Mr. Bean is such, like, a comedian...
eccentric,
dell'arte kind of actor.
Yeah, that's like me with the washerwoman. Like, that's because you have to tune into that. Otherwise, you're just being massive for the sake of being massive.
Which is simply overacting. But, I mean, we never get told off for that. Which, like, we should. We should get told not to do that because it looks bad.
Yeah. And like, it doesn't reflect really well on the kind of teaching per se, because it's like, we've just allowed that to happen.
It's like, I do a thing called Stagecoach, and when you're in like stage 2 and you're around 12, they want you to be as big as possible. Because,
express yourself.
Because you have to express everything, so the person at the back of the audience knows what you're saying. Then it comes to a point where like you're not 12 anymore, and
and it's like musical
you need to be real. You need to be truthfully acting, and I think there are many people in our year that can't distinguish the difference.
I think that's also like whether they're going to take it on in the future as well, because at the moment I think I'd say 60-70% of our year take it as a joke. What we're doing, like, performing arts is fine, I'll be fine. Just doing the course so that they can do something with their life. But
then people have the problem with overacting, and then some people just have the problem of not trying at all. We need to have that nice balance in the middle.
Yeah.
If we ever get that, I do not know. I'll let you know next year. What else?
Next act, second half.
Yeah, second half also a lot better.
Washerwoman went the best I've ever done. I added in snorts, like when do I ever go on stage? I backcombed my hair as much as possible.
Yeah, that looked really, really good.
And I itched it and made it look like I had knit. But in the footage you couldn't really see. You could see me doing this, but you couldn't see what I was doing. And unfortunately you couldn't see like the dirt on my face that I was like rubbing in and things like that. So you couldn't see like certain things like that. But I know that I was doing them. Yeah. It's like that, knowing that I was doing everything that I could have done to make that scene like the best it has been. And I feel like Rhea was really good in responding to me that time as well. Especially when she was like, bye-bye to Auntie, and I was like, ugh, you know, and like grunting and things like that. But again, that was not Emma. But I kind of forgot about her, is that bad? I forgot about her being there, because I feel like she wasn't the same energy level as me and Rhea, like, because obviously I'm not going to like Rhea because she's taking my clothes and I'm locked up here, and then Rhea likes me because I'm, you know, letting her get away. She just needs to pay me with the money that she's easily got and go free from prison. Whereas the jailer's daughter's just there. Yeah.
And you know, if she wants to be part of that, then she needs to be bigger herself. Yeah. So
it kind of annoyed me as well, because in rehearsals she had often forgotten a line. Can't remember what line it was, beginning with an R. Reputation, that was it. She always forgot a line that was like, oh, my auntie's got unblemished reputation. And she'd always forget the word reputation. And in rehearsals, me and Rhea would be like, reputation. And be like, obviously, because that would be like, that's your line, you need to know it. And so I said to Emma, I said, look, if you're going to forget it on the night, know that I'll say it. It'd be like, reputation, like, I've got a good reputation. Yeah. And I told Rhea not to say it because I looked weird that Toad was saying it, because it wasn't her reputation. And then Emma took that, like, for real, and like purposely forgot that word so that I could say reputation. And I was like, no, this is not what I meant. I meant I've got your back. I've got your back. We will cover it up. It's fine. Don't worry about it. But instead she was like, you've got a unblemished what? And I was like,
are you serious?
Yeah.
That's actually what she does.
She was like, you've got unblemished. And I was like, reputation. She's like, oh, sorry, reputation. And I'd be like, trying not to like hold in the laughter, like what has just happened, just be paying it off. Like I was just like, oh, what's she doing? And being like trying to
trying to forget my reputation.
Yeah, literally like that. And then like stomping off with this wooden gate and my shorts, like pyjama shorts, like.
And then obviously it was the train scene after that. Again, like the train scene was good with me and Tanner. Yeah, me obviously like again like no one's ever really gonna know what we're saying or like what I don't know like what we're doing between each other, but like
I feel like he's good at filling in the gaps.
We both are.
Because when we do the weasel scene, you know, when Tom's on the table.
And he's like...
Weasel talk, Jamie smells like McDonald's.
Yeah. But again, I don't like that. I don't like it when he brings up the real world.
Yeah, I know. I was like, Jamie? Who's Jamie?
He obviously means teacher Jamie.
But
I like how, like, say when Toad on the train scene is kind of, like, walking through, I kind of look at her and I'm like...
I recognise her.
That looks quite familiar. But then, again, he kind of blocked me on that bit. He was like, no. And I was like, okay, cool, never mind.
Right, okay, I won't mention it.
But, like, literally, like, I know I've said it before, but, like, in those scenes where we're not the mains or anything, we're just still fully acting. And, like, I think that is when you know the difference between, like, a good actress and just kind of a actress. Like, someone that's just acting because they've got lines.
For the sake of it.
And someone that is literally they just take that character.
They're in that world.
And just become them. And literally, that with me and Tanner, that's just what happened. Like, every time we were on that stage as Monica and Rupert, we became them. And, like, we would literally, like, even if, like, he whispered to me, he'd whisper to me as Rupert. It wasn't even as, like, Tanner, like, Ariel, what are we doing? It was literally like, Ariel, blah, blah, blah. And it was just, like... So then we'd have like little like inside jokes as Rupert and Monica. That it's just I don't know. I think even though no one else is aware of that, I know me personally, I was like that just kept me in that Monica mindset, and yeah, that was good.
Next part is Where's Toad?
Where's Toad? Again, that went really well.
Really energetic, that was, like, really aggressive. We felt like a mob. It reminded me, weirdly, of, you know, in Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah,
like, kill the bees!
I love that song.
And that literally reminds me of that, because we're like, kill Toad.
Yeah, no, that was
Wild
good.
Wooders are, but...
And I thought it was, again, like, with me and Tanner, I thought it was funny, because everyone's really
angry. You're like, oh, sorry.
Yeah, and then when they all run off, like, there's Toad, he's there with his shotgun, running, like, ha, ha, ha. And I'm like, oh, no, go.
Don't you do...
It's because we don't take, like, their characters don't take anything seriously.
Yeah,
so it's a nice, like, contrast
between
everyone
panic.
That's genuinely angry, but us, he's actually stolen our car, we should actually be angry at him. We're just like, oh, this is a joke, this is funny. Then obviously their gypsy scene, that was good, but I think Adam overacted on that.
He added in, because it was the last night, he decided that he was going to ad-lib a lot of things.
He shouldn't have.
He's like, oh, I have a bit of that.
And I was a bit like, oh. There was some things he added, and I would threw out the whole thing actually, and I was just like,
when Rhiannon started singing, and she was singing her song.
And he was like,
da.
Like, it would be good if we didn't know Adam,
yeah.
But because we know Adam,
and if he was gonna sing the same song as her, it just ruined it. Like, she had a moment, and like Leanne loved that little moment that she had, like a little barge woman on her barge having a little sing song, and then he's him like down.
Yeah, like if he was gonna sing along to the words in that same kind of vibe. Don't sing as Adam, sing as Albert. And that's what I feel like everyone just keeps forgetting, like... Just
zoning in and out of that, being that character or not.
Like, I don't know if this is even necessary, but I've once had a conversation with Ryan, who used to come here, and now he studies at Central. And we were having a conversation once, and I said to him, I was like, what do you think your biggest weakness is? And he said, technically, like, content-wise, nothing. But what his actual weakness is that he can't forget that the audience is there. Like, he said to me, like, he wants to get to a point where he's not going to be afraid of the audience because in his character's mind, the audience isn't there. Because when he's acting, he's in a different world.
Yeah.
And, like, literally, ever since he said that to me... I'm like, oh, my God, yeah, that's so true. Like, you don't want to remember that you're someone else, that you're Leah, that you're on stage. You want to be, like, say with motorist Monica.
You are Monica.
I'm Monica. I've just lost my car, but I'm fine because I'm drunk and like who cares?
I've got loads of money. I can buy another
When
car.
I look out into the audience, I'm not looking out into the audience. I'm looking out into the blue sky.
Countryside.
Like that's what you. That is the goal. The goal is to literally just be able to just switch into that world. And I guess to like people that aren't actors or actresses, it's like that can't happen. You can't do that. Like that's not real.
Yeah.
But you can if you believe it. And that's when I feel like you can see the difference between the actors. Like,
yeah.
Again, this is probably irrelevant, but like your show, you know, when you were in
My Fair Lady.
My Fair Lady, like the guy who played the main guy who studied at GSA,
Yeah.
so good. Like because you can see that he literally like
Is there?
he was just in that world, and like that just it just literally makes such a difference. And maybe people need to go see more shows, and speak to more people. And and see the difference, understand the difference.
Yeah.
Because if all you see is Nescott,
That's all you're going to compare it to.
You're never going to really get better, are you?
And I feel like music and lighting and things like that really help with things like that. Like personally, like in the jail scene, for example, when they're playing like the keys jangling or whatever sound it is, it literally reminds me of like a jail. And like, it's all misty and everything, and I'm like, oh wow.
Yeah, and I think when Rhea first started talking, with that different music and stuff,
it just like, changes everything.
But it wasn't like it was scary, but it was somehow kind of dark. And
because everything else has been like, and then like she's actually paying for her actions.
And to be fair, I think her talking to herself like that. It's like, is she hearing like voices?
Well, yeah, because she's like reflecting on it
And I think it's just got that darker little vibe that I wanted through the whole thing. I wanted it to be darker. It was meant to be steampunk, but it wasn't.
That didn't end up happening, but...
But like, I love dark moments because I think it...
gives variety though.
Yeah, and if it's always this like cheesy comedy...
I feel like I would, if I was an audience member, like looking at the footage, if I completely forgot that I was in it, or anyone I knew was in it, I would be zoned out 100%.
Yeah.
Because we were told that it'd be completely different. It'd be, you know, you'd be engaged, you'd want to watch it. And it was no different than the 20 other versions that are on YouTube on a DVD.
And to be honest, I feel like we chose just a children's play. That, like, just like, you know, H&D2s, they have a module where they have to do look at children's theatre.
It was a bit like that.
We literally just done that, and that shouldn't be what we've done. Like, that shouldn't be our FMP. And even my dad said afterwards, he was like, it was a good performance, but it was a child's show. You guys are not children. In year one, we done Decades, which was very explicit.
That was like a swap round.
That was like too extreme. And then like now, for our FMP, we've got something that's so childish.
Yeah, and there's quite a few people that just zoned out, because there are quite a few scenes where it is just the mains and no one else.
I think the scenes where it's Ratty and Mole, they drag.
You just get lost, like you're like, what? Because you zone in and out.
Yeah.
Because they're not exciting for you. You want to watch it. Like, wow, you're really good at acting. It's like not. It's
I think both of them could have been a lot bigger, been a lot more.
I think they could have been a lot more taken more risks.
Because they done it the same every single time.
No, there was no difference in the final performance to the first rehearsal. No difference at all. Only person that I think has changed has been Albert and Toad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Badger's literally changed not at all. Like, the thing is, she is funny because of the accent. It's literally the accent. So when we all first started doing like rehearsals, I was like, oh my god, she's incredible. Like, wow. As the rehearsals go on, you start to see that she's not changing a thing, and like you're not developing your character.
And they're just telling them, oh, you're doing really well, like keep it as it is. So they're like, oh right, okay.
Yeah. That's why you need to have that initiative in yourself, because if you don't...
You're just going to get bored. You're not the character anymore if you're just doing the same thing.
You'll just never improve. And I think the whole, like, performing arts as a whole is so that you can improve and you can find new things about yourself, and you can find that there are elements in... that there are the 3 elements in performing arts can be merged into this incredible performance, and you can find aspects of voice in acting and movement in acting and vice versa.
Physicality and your gait and everything.
But if you're not trying to get better and you're just doing what's given to you,
you're not really going to get anywhere.
But I mean,
that's the real world again. We're back in Nescott.
I know, and obviously to teachers and stuff, they don't really care about your view on that.
Yeah.
Which they should, because, like, you probably find this evaluation as a whole, probably distinction level. Like, we're going quite deep into it.
I think, yeah.
Obviously, we're going to add more. But, like, the things we're saying, we're reflecting on other people. You got to think, are these people reflecting on themselves?
Enough that, because it feels like we're reflecting for them.
Yeah, I'm literally, in my reflections, I'm reflecting for all of them. However, next year, I'm sure the people that stay, that haven't done any coursework, that probably get passes, they're still going to be brought up, and everyone's going to be so proud of them. And then...
Because that's what matters. The fact that, to them, that's what matters, is the fact that they've gone from a really low level to really good, to really low, to really good, to having that up and down. Whereas people like us are consistent throughout the whole time we're here. Like, that doesn't mean we're not improving, and that doesn't mean that we're bad because we're just consistent, but we're at a good enough level that we're not being pushed enough to be able to go any further, because at this standard, there is nothing more that we can do.
And I'm sorry that I'm not going to be satisfied with a pass.
No.
I want a distinction. And I'm saying this right now, man. This is like...
Just because I'm small parts and not necessarily the biggest role doesn't mean it's not...
Yeah.
You know, capable.
Yeah, I'm aiming for that distinction, and I'm hoping I'm going to get it. But it's just sad to think that the grade doesn't really matter. It just looks good on paper.
Yeah, because there's only like 2 drama schools that matter, where it matters what you get. And I think that's what kind of makes people care less, because they're like, no one looks at it, it's fine,
But why have you stayed here for 2 years if you don't care about your grade?
That's what I'm saying. Anyway.
Again, it went a bit depressing again, but overall, our
second performance
was very good. And yeah, I'm really proud of myself. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of Tanner.
Tom.
I'm proud of everyone. Like, even like Joanna, she did improve. She took on the notes and she started to like project her voice a lot more. Yeah.
No, because I've got my own notes about myself. Like, I know that there are points where I've like, looking back, like, I think that that's what you should be able to do, is like taking a step back and now looking at the footage, because when you're on stage you're not really aware of what you look like.
Like, I watched it back and I did not like my Rabbit Rose performance at all. I thought it was so like, you know, I don't like knowing that I'm acting. I like watching it and be like, oh my god, who is
really
she?
Cute.
But I was watching Rabbit Rose like, I'm cringing. Like,
so that was like me with my, I don't know, I just felt very aggressive majority of the time, but I feel like that was because I was like, everyone else, I can hardly hear what you're saying, so I'm just going to be really aggressive. But I feel like that worked with some of my characters, but then I think if I could change anything, that would be my thing that I would change. Yeah,
I think I'm not the best at acting like an animal or acting innocent. Even though somehow teachers believe that I am like, I'm going to be the cutest little rabbit ever. I can't connect with them. I can't connect with a rabbit and I can't connect with a mouse, because like the mouse I was actually a lot easier to connect with, but my rabbit one, I had no idea who she was at all.
No, I know what you mean. I feel like it's, again, we legit did that scene, 2-3 times, other than the performances.
Yeah, I was literally just like, looking back, I'm like, wait, who even are you? Like, do you know?
Are you actually a mouse?
And I'm questioning myself at this point, like, and I think that's
good.
The good thing.
You need to be able to take a step back, and if you don't, you're never going to make any progress.
And even with Monica, I could have done better. Like, I think everyone can always do better than like what they've already done.
No matter what they say, you can always take something that you're going to put towards the next project.
Yeah.
Regardless whether it's nothing to do with it. You can always take and go, actually, I should have done more research on this, so next time I'm actually going to make sure that I start doing my research a lot earlier so that my characters can be more in-depth.
And like, for me, I had that character Lady Daphne in Decades, and back then I wasn't big enough with her. I was a bit scared to be big because, I don't know,
But at that point, I think everyone was a lot more self-conscious.
Yeah, and because obviously the part I had to do was a bit... But therefore, with Motorist Monica, I was like, I was really big, and I was able to be this like dramatic, eccentric woman.
Because you learned from what you happened. Yeah,
because in Decades, I had that character, and I was big, but I was able to be bigger and like not be as afraid of like kind of being. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I think that's what it's all about: being able to take a step back and look at your own faults before you're like, okay, this is what I need. Well, like Ryan, like you said,
Yeah.
Ryan, he said technically there isn't anything, but personally there's always something individually, and if there isn't, there's something
Yeah.
wrong with you.
And I think it doesn't matter if you graduate from the best drama school in the world, you're not finished learning.
You're
Because
always
as long as there are new people living in this world that you have not met,
you're
learning.
Yeah.
Because you might get a role that is just like this, that homeless man on the street. And if you don't pay attention to him and you don't
You're
learn,
never gonna
you're never gonna
take anything from him.
no actor ever is perfect, because you have to keep learning and you have to keep
And that
seeing
contact
people.
with the new people that you're having, you're learning and you're observing things about them, like
Yeah.
their traits, like whether it's they itch their nose a lot or
Yeah.
something, and you're like, oh, I could use that for this
Yeah.
character.
Like, I'm not even gonna lie, like because when we went to a museum, what museum was it? We went to a museum and we had a task that we had to look at someone and literally write down like everything about them and like create a life for them and what's happened in their. And I do that now, so obviously I don't write it down.
But
if,
in that, yeah.
But if I'm on the train or if I'm on the bus or I'm just walking with my boyfriend or whatever, I see someone, I'm like, you look like you're having a hard time, man. And I'm there, like literally like saying to like my boyfriend, like, oh my god, like anything could happen to. I feel like she's just been broken up with, or I just create stuff for them, and I don't know. I enjoy doing that.
I feel like that's what I did with the washerwoman. I actually feel like I've seen people now, like,
yeah,
you know, when you see those people and you're like, ugh,
yeah,
like itching, like.
But yeah, I just think from this process, I've learned that you can't be too complacent, and it doesn't matter if you've got the smallest role or the biggest role.
Make it your own.
Make it your own. Make it different, and just be in that moment. Be that character.
And do your research, because without it, you wouldn't have anything.
If you are not fully connected, the audience
No one
will
else
know.
is.
And I know that from seeing Rabbit Rose. I wasn't fully connected to her, but I was fully connected to Motorist Monica, and I can see that difference. So now for the future,
make sure that level for all
I
of them.
need it all to be like that, because I'm never going to be this actress that I want to be if I can't play every role I get to the same standard.
Anyway, that was our evaluation.
Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.